What's good, y'all? I hope you guys are having a great day. In today's video, we're going over a very instructive modern Scandinavian defense game. Now, for those of you that are not aware of what the modern Scandi is, you're playing the Scandinavian, right? Playing the regular Scandi, but then you're not taking back with the queen. You're going to play the move knight to f6. I'm a big fan of this move, and the possibilities that this can give you are great. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things that white could try here. For example, of d4, right? Knight takes d5. This is what I cover in my modern Scandinavian defense course. By the way, to get 30% off on any of my online courses, go down the description below, the pinned comment, plug in the discount code CHESS25, and you'll get 30% off. Only good through the month of September. So make sure to go over and get that. I hope you guys enjoy it, and thanks for those of you that have invested in it. But knight takes d5 there. That's a move I cover. At the same time, guys, queen takes d5. This is completely playable against d4 if you don't like the Marshall variation there. Now, there is a move here, specifically c4, that doesn't allow our knight or our queen to capture on d5. But I don't think c4 is that good of a move, and that's what we see in this game. Now, there's a couple options here that are really strong. One of them is c6 with the Scandinavian gambit. The engine loves this move, and this is completely sound. We're dead even with perfect play from both sides, and it's going to be very hard for white to play this out well. And I'm assuming, of course, white does not play d4 and they take on c6, right? In that case, we're at a dead even game. If white pushes to d4 there, we're going to look to take on d5. White has a slight advantage. We're actually going to be in the Panov attack of the CARO-KANN defense at that point, but it's still a very solid, strong position for black. And if white takes, which if you look at online chess, white does the large majority of the time, we could take back with the knight, and we have an incredible grip on d4, or we could even play e5 and kind of play this like a Danish gambit, but for black. I mean, this bishop looking at g2. Bishop c5 on the way, e4 on the way against a lot of different stuff looking to break this game open. We have a beautiful position here, and it's just a really fun game for us. But okay, in the game here, we instead have the move of pawn to e6. Pawn to e6 is played, and by playing e6, we're now in the Icelandic palm gambit. Okay, we got two GMs going against each other here. In a rapid time control, we got as white Andrei Sokolov, and as black we have Grandmaster Jonathan Spielman. Now, Spielman plays e6. We have capturing on e6, which is the engine move. Would I recommend it to anyone? No. If I was playing as white there in a tournament game, I am not taking this. I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm playing d4. I'm developing a knight. I'm not taking that pawn. There are so many ways for this game to go wrong for white. Now, d4 is played. We have bishop b4 check. And a common idea in this kind of line is to bring your queen over to e7. Now, what's the most common move in online chess? Knight c3. Is it a good move? No. Knight to e4. We're now double attacking the knight. And by the way, bishop d2 here, right? White plays this all the time in online chess. Queen takes d4. We're now threatening checkmate. And if white wants to take, we capture back with the queen. We have great activity here, better development, and a better game. But in this game specifically, I mean, we're talking about two GMs here. We have bishop to d2 instead of knight c3. And now queen to e7. This is such a common and key idea and really theme in the Icelandic palm gambit. Eyeing up towards that king, looking towards the bishop on b4. And notice, by the way, if d5, we can move our bishop anywhere, and that king is going to be in check. So white here ends up taking on b4. We have queen takes b4 with check. Knight d2 is played in the game. What happens if queen d2? Right? Again, all this is covered in much more depth in my online course, but knight c6 here is what I recommend. Supporting the queen. Hey, you want to take the queen? Okay, we capture back. And we're down a pawn, but I love black's game here. We got three minor pieces developed. White hasn't developed anything yet. And we're going to be able to develop very quickly here. Castle queenside, put another rook into the center, and just absolutely obliterate white's structure here in a lot of cases. And black is better, objectively speaking. And if white plays d5, we can castle. I mean, what are you going to do? Take our bishop or knight right now? You'd lose your queen. And if you take our queen and then think about taking our bishop, well, that's just straight up losing. We can throw in a check on c2. We don't even need to take this rook right now. We could play rook h e8, and we are nearly -4 according to the engine here. Okay, so there's a lot of ways. Again, a lot of ways for white to mess this up. If knight a3, much better option. Okay, bishop f5. We centralize our other rook and castling queenside there as well was a big mistake because now a2 is hanging. We can take that whenever the heck we want. And, you know, we could have captured it, but this is a great move as well. And, hey, if b3 looking to, okay, fine, knight e4. We're looking towards f2. Oh, you defend it with the knight? Okay, we remove the defender. We fly in. So as you can see, guys, I mean, there's just so many ways for us to get a quick and easy win here as black. In the game, we have knight to d2, knight c6, and now knight f3. A big question here is, why not d5? Why not just push in the center? Well, if you play d5, black has castling queenside again. And let's cover both of these moves, right? Let's cover those. Now, d5 there was fine. That was a fine move. Turns out taking on e6 or c6 is just terrible. White here should try to offer a trade of queens. If white takes on c6, knight e4. We have 1, 2, 3 pieces all going after that knight. All of them. You take on b7, king b8. We're not going to take that pawn and expose our king. No, we're going to let our opponent's pawn give us protection. We're still putting a ton of pressure on that knight. And if white tries to, you know, give it some more support, okay, we take, and then we centralize our other rook. I mean, talk about an advantage in development here. White could play bishop e2. If we see that, bishop takes c4. Can this knight move? Nope, it's pinned. Right? Both, you know, in terms of the relative pin, as well as just not being able to move. Okay, this knight cannot legally move. This bishop cannot legally move. And we got great pressure on both. With castling queenside. I mean, if we see d takes e6, okay, knight e4. Again, we're going to put pressure on that knight. If you want to defend it, okay, we take it. And again, we centralize. A lot of common themes here. If bishop e2, we take. And okay, let's say white tries to get to safety. Okay, we capture on d2. I mean, we're already sitting at even material. The bishop on e2 is going to fall. We could even get 2 rooks on the second rank. And guys, it's the 15th move. And let's say queen b1 or something. We could even think about getting a 3rd major piece on the second rank. I mean, there's just so many possibilities in this kind of game. So white ends up playing knight to f3. Instead of d5, white should play d5, but then not take a piece, which is very counterintuitive for the human player. Again, if you guys memorize, you know, these kind of lines, you're going to get a lot of quick and easy wins. Castling queenside here is what we see in the game, and now d5. In the game, bishop g4 is played, right? And I know I'm going back and forth between the game and theory a lot. I'm just trying to give you modern Scandi players some theory to work with. Knight takes d5 is the correct move. Just blast open the center. Blast it open. Right, if bishop e2, we can take on f3. I mean, the knight can't take. And if the pawn takes here, I mean, that's very ugly. We're still going to centralize. If the bishop takes, we centralize with check. And, yeah, you move your king, you're going to lose your knight. You block with the queen falls. That's not great for white at all. The bishop blocks, knight d4. I mean, this is resignable for white. It really is. But okay, in the game, we do not see knight takes d5. We instead see bishop g4. I call this a blunder because black had a completely winning position, and now white is slightly better technically, but really we just have a dead even game. Bishop g4. And here, what should white do? Well, apparently now white should take on c6. Again and again and again. It's been a bad idea, but all of a sudden it's a good idea. Stockfish somehow finds a way for white to survive in this kind of game. We can take on f3, and here we can play a move like rook to e5. By the way, if white takes on b7, right, we're not taking with the king. I mean, we never do. We're not even playing king b8. Our bishop can get to safety. Our bishop gets to safety. We're still down material. We're down a pawn, but, I mean, come on. We got 2 centralized rooks, a queen looking directly at your king and a hanging pawn, a bishop looking at a hanging pawn on the king side, and your bishop and knight that are the only 2 pieces developed, they can't even move. So, I mean, come on. This is rough. And, again, we're taking on f3. We're ready to capture back with the bishop. A lot of players might overlook that as white. And if g takes, again, we have rook to e5. If you take, okay, fine, king to b8. Knight h5 here is an option, and white here is just supposed to go, you know what, I'm just going to castle queenside because I do not want to deal with this knight f4 stuff doubling up on my already pinned bishop. We take on e2, and okay, apparently things are just about dead even, but it doesn't feel like it. With bishop g4 in the game, instead of white taking this knight, we see bishop to e2. We have capturing on f3. The bishop captures back, and a check. Right, you don't want to play bishop to e2 here because knight d4. And thankfully for white, they can play king f1 without us just capturing a knight right off because this d-pawn is still in existence. We have knight to d4 played in the game here, centralizing that minor piece. Queen c1, and now we have capturing on f3. And here you got to ask yourself, how do you improve your pieces? How do you improve your activity? Chess is all about minor, steady improvements. At the lower levels, you might be able to get away with this, little 8-move trick or trap or 10-move win. But at the higher levels, you're not going to just roll over someone. Okay, maybe sometimes, but most of the time, chess is all about slow, incremental improvements. How do we activate a piece here? Don't ask yourself how to win. Ask yourself how to improve your position. Rook e4. Right? We don't know how we're going to win this, but we do know how to improve our position. And if we keep doing that enough, we're going to win. Rook e4. Targeting the pawn on c4. White here decides to hang on, and that's a solid pawn chain. But, I mean, at the end of it, black just has much better activity. We have doubled rooks on the only open file, and white here has rooks that, are barely on the board. They're still in their starting spots. h3 is played. Knight h5, really looking to activate more. g3, and now knight takes g3 with check, followed by rook e3. Now, apparently here with great defensive technique, and this is a rapid game, so this would be hard to find, or even hard to find within an unlimited amount of time, but white has this idea of king to g2. Now, I wouldn't even think of that if I was white. I really wouldn't. I don't care if you give me 3 hours. I don't think I'm really heavily considering this move. But apparently, we check, and here, the best thing we can do is just go back. And then we go back, and the engine here has us doing a threefold repetition somehow. By the way, if there's different moves here that we could try. If we look towards f2, rook h2 is the move there. If we try rook h e3, rook h2, right, rook h2, and now we're actually losing because we are down a piece, guys. We do have to either checkmate our opponent or get that piece back, and we're just not able to here. If we trade, that's not good. Our attack's fizzling out, and our opponent has a knight. If we take the knight, we lose our rook. This is not good. But white here misses the impossible to find king g2, and we have knight to g1. Now black is completely crushing. Make sure not to fall into the trap of going, oh my gosh, I can win their queen. Let me give up 2 rooks for their queen. Guys, we're already down material. We were already down 3 points. Then you gave up 2 5-point pieces for a 9-point piece. So now you, on top of being down 3, now you lost another. Now you're down 4. Okay, and white's pawn structure is very solid here, very strong. If white just holds on to that pawn on a2, there's nothing our queen can do to pick off those queenside pawns. There's just nothing. And white here has 2 rooks and a minor knight. So don't do that. Keep putting on the pressure. Queen d6. Rook h2 is played. Rook takes g3, picking off a pawn. Queen b2. We now have queen g6. I love this idea. Putting pressure on that knight, and really just activating the queen into a much better spot. King f2 is played. White here desperately trying to hang on, but now we have rook e3, and this king is absolutely surrounded. Knight e2 is played, and here the grandmaster misses a mate in 3. A very hard move to find, a very hard mate in 3 to find. If you'd like to, you can pause the video and try to figure out what the mate in 3 is here. I'm sure with it being a rapid game, they didn't have much time on the clock left, but yeah, if you can figure this out, let me know in the comment section what you think. What is the mate in 3? Assuming you pause the video, queen f5 is the first move, right? If you block with the knight, we take, checkmate, game over. If you run with the king, we have rook g1. You can't take the rook, and with king d2, queen d3, game over. So beautiful idea there. Queen f5, rook g1, queen d3. But okay, instead there in the game, we have the move of rook gf3, which I'm not going to call that a mistake because we're still completely crushing. We have queen g1 with check. The knight cannot take back as it is absolutely pinned. And with king d2, we have capturing off the rook. queen f2, and white seemingly resigns here. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I hope you guys got something out of it. The modern Scandinavian defense, very strong option for black. There's so many fun possibilities. You have the Scandinavian gambit, you have the Icelandic palm gambit, you have the Portuguese gambit, you have other lines as well that were not mentioned in this video. And it can really give you a fun game. So let me know what you thought of this game down below. Let me know what you thought of the theoretical lines as well. And I will see y'all in the next video. Quick reminder, chess25, plug that discount in, and you will get 30% off on your purchase. See y'all soon. I wanted to finish this video out by giving a big thanks to Walter, Steve, Rob, that's a lot of Robs, Ray, Roger, and the rest of my Patreon community. I appreciate you guys a ton. If you guys haven't checked out the Patreon before, there are some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Peace.